Hi Earth Critters, I'm outside and I am ready for trash pickup. So if you have any type of a trash bag, go outside on your next walk and I guarantee you will find some cans and some pieces of paper that do not belong on Mother Earth. So my favorite thing is to get a big bag, and actually I made friends with the rangers at my local park, and so I got a bag today. I saw Mr. Richard, and he gave me a bag, and sometimes he'll leave me some by the trash cans once these get full because he knows this is what I love to do. So grab a bag and let's start picking up some trash. Quick tip, guys. If you find glass, be very careful. I'm a professional picker-upper. Normally I would have gloves on just to be extra safe, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up because I don't want any critters stepping on it and hurting their little feet. So if you see glass, have a grown-up pick it up, or just stick to things that you won't get hurt on, because Mimi does not want a bunch of my little earth critters getting hurt out there during trash pickup. So I was hiking after awesome trash pickup day, and I came across the most beautiful bushels of cactus. Is it cacti or cactus? I like to say cactuses. Human language is very boring for Mimi, so I make up my own words. But I was so inspired because, hello, they're my favorite color, green. And they had the most beautiful flowers. And I came across this one with a little heart-shaped cactus petal. We're going to call them petals. And it inspired today's sketch. So as soon as I got home, I busted out Faithful sketchbook and my Halloween pencil because a basic pencil, it does not work for Mimi. I have to have something that is fun, and Halloween is fun for me. So then I started sketching out some cactus leaves. And also, if you know the correct term, comment down below of what these things are called. I mean, I'm going to call them whatever I feel like because no one makes rules for Mimi because I will not follow them. But kids, you should listen to your parents. Don't take my advice of not following rules because we don't need a bunch of hooligans running out there and then you blaming Mimi saying, I don't follow rules, so you don't have to. So maybe scratch what I just said. And I was just following that picture, the one with the beautiful little heart shape. And I'm not trying to recreate the picture exactly because I like to be creative. And as long as it looks like a cactus, like I was happy with that. So I just got a bunch of green shades and I'm using just colored pencils and I'm coloring in different shades of green. And you'll see because it's going to pop once you add different colors of green. And I love to outline some of my paintings, and by some of them I mean most of them, let's be real. I just think it's so pretty and it makes it pop. And a quick tip, if you add green or like a yellow shade on top of your drawing, you can make this most beautiful yellow green. And blue, if you did a blue layer first and then on top with green, yellow, you would get green. So it's just the same as if you were painting. You can mix your colored pencils and layer them on top of each other to create awesome new colors. And then I went back and added some more texture. I love swirly swirls. I don't know why. I always wind up doing some little swirly swirl type sketches, and throughout my painting you'll see it's a common theme with Mimi. I love that. And look, doesn't that already look so cool, just adding different textures? And then I cannot have just a basic white background. No way, ain't gonna happen. So I added this really pretty color. It's like a yellow, not a yellow pink, like a yellow orange. No, what am I talking about? Mimi, get it together, girl. It's like a pink with a little bit of orange to it, and I love that color. So I put that in the background, and then I'm adding all the little pricklies all over it. One time I touched a cactus because I thought the little pricklies were really soft. I didn't think it was going to actually get me, but I was wrong and it did. Some of those, the cactus can be kind of an illusion if they don't have really sharp prickles. Don't touch them anyway. Just look at them for their beauty. And ta-da! There is my final sketch. And this is the final sketch that I am going to use as a reference for today's painting. So step one is I'm going to sketch my cactus design, and I have my sketch at the bottom right corner of your screen. Say hi to Mr. Sketch. He's just sitting there, just hanging out. And it doesn't have to look exactly like my sketch, but that's the best thing about sketching, because not only are you creating a piece of art, but you can use it as a reference. So step two is you're going to mix your background color. And I chose to do an orange type shade, like more of, I added a lot of red to it and some white, but this is optional. So you could do whatever color you want. Now that I look back, a really dark shade of blue would have really made this cactus pop too. But you know, I love bright, fun colors, so I stuck with this yellowy, orangey type color. And yes, yellowy, orangey is a real word. Well, in my head, so. And a great way to layer that paint is using a really big brush for the outside, and then I will switch to a smaller brush to get around my cactus shapes, just so I don't get paint in my design. And if you do, it's fine, because all of this is basically the under layer of your painting, because once we get to detail phase, woohoo, that's my most favorite phase. You're going to be able to fix all of that. So have multiple brushes on hand. So step three is you're going to mix different green shades. So I have a green already on my palette, but if you mix blue and yellow, that will give you all kinds of green, depending on how much of each color you put. But also, I don't like to use the paint straight out of the tube, because that is boring to me. So I add a little bit of yellow and blue to my green, just because I have to have it unique, just like me. And I really love this green shade. It's heavy on the yellow side, so that's why it's very bright. So this is the yellow green, and I'm just going to start painting in some of my cactus with that color. And in my sketch, I have different shades of green going on. So I don't want to just paint everything one boring shade of green, because again, boring. So I'm going to mix different shades. So now I'm ready to go to another, maybe a darker shade. So I'm adding blue to it. And if you wanted to make it darker, you can always add a tiny bit of black to this, but I didn't need to add any black because this shade of green was perfect for me. And Mr. Heart is getting all painted. Isn't he so cute? And I switched to a smaller brush for these because a big background brush would not do, and I didn't want to make any unnecessary bobos that I had to go back and fix later on. So have lots of different shades. Oh, Mimi, sometimes again the human language can be very difficult for me when I get excited with painting. I don't know what's coming out of my mouth. So this one I added a little bit of white. And what winds up happening is this shade was a little too light. It didn't stand out as much as I thought it would. So I'm going to eventually darken up that shade with another layer. I think I add more blue to that color. So you can, sometimes when I paint, I don't want to say mistakes because again, there are no mistakes because I am doing me and I am being a creative artiste master. So you can always fix things. Oh, and then I forgot my sweet little cactus flower on Mr. Heart, so I went back and did that. Oh, see, this is what I was talking about. So I went back and darkened that shade of that one cactus just a little bit more, and you can already see that it made a big difference. So, well, in my eyes, it made a huge difference. So it has a different shade of green than the rest. Oh, and I put some more yellow. So now we're gonna mix orange color and yellow and red. Red is being cut off by my screen, but that's okay. There's a little red at the bottom on my palette, and I'm just mixing my own orange. If you have orange already mixed, use that. Maybe add a little bit of red to it or some yellow. And we are doing the first layer of our flowers. And you're just gonna fill in those blobby shapes. And don't focus too much on making it look like a flower because it will at the end. So now once that is dry, you're going to mix a yellow shade for the flowers. And I'm just creating little petals on top of my orange to make it really pop. Just so it's not a stamp of color. And I'm sorry that my hand is blocking the view. Oh, Mimi. Me and technology. We're not the best of friends, so I forget that, hello, your hand will block the view for your earth critters if you're hovering directly over your painting, but I'm learning, okay, bear with me. And look, ta-da, don't those already look so much better? So you kind of see that orange color peeking through the flowers. It gives it more dimension. My favorite time, detail time. I also like to sing songs during detail time. So this is all of the stuff that I'm doing during detail time when I add different textures to the background. This is what I chose to do. So you could do whatever you want. Make your painting as unique as you want it. Because remember, you are the master artiste. And yes, you are a master artiste. Remember to always compliment yourself. I will say that all the time. Let's all have some confidence out there. Self-esteem starts with you, kids. Be kind to yourself, especially if you are new at painting or new at art. Remember, you got to start somewhere. So your painting might not look exactly like mine, which is great because we don't want a bunch of the same paintings out there. So I would be so interested to see how you made your background pop. And look, doesn't that already look so cool? You go, Mimi. And now I'm going to add some, I was skipping ahead. I thought I was going to add some swirlies in my cactus, but that comes later. So the color I'm using right now looks black, but what it is, it's the green with a lot of blue in it. And I'm going to use it to outline my Mr. Cactus because it's going to make it really stand out at the end of my painting. And I need my painting to pop, baby. I like a dramatic painting. And I have a small detail brush for this. So if you have a small little round brush, Detail Phase will love you for using it. And make sure you're patient because Detail Phase, it's kind of like you're wrapping up the end of your painting. So you want to make sure everything's dry so you don't mess it up because my hand was resting on my canvas. So be patient, kids. So now I'm doing, those are my little swirly swirls. Really, this painting at the end of it, because I add a lot of this kind of texture lines, these little swirly swirls, it looks like it's almost vibrating or dancing to me. It just, doesn't that look like that to you? Like there's music going on and Mr. Cactus is having a grand old time dancing to the music. Dancing to the Trolls World Tour soundtrack. I love that yodel song, by the way. It's so good. And I'm mixing a lot of greens, and my palette is getting oh so very messy, but I don't care because I am being creative. And sometimes your canvas will look a hot mess, but that's okay because you are creating. And as long as you can mix some clean colors, you will be fine. Art teachers out there are like, oh no. They're like, girl, your canvas, get it together. No one puts Mimi in a corner. That's a shout out reference to all the parents out there. And Mr. Swirly's come. Oh, look at my sweet little heart shape. I really love that little heart. That was such a sweet little cactus. In real life, you know? And doesn't that already pop? Oh, and ta-da, this is the final one. What you did not get to see, because again, me and technology are not always the bestest of friends, but that's okay. But I forgot to put record. Yeah, on that part of the little pricklies. So what I did, the very, very last step, I made sure everything was dry. I got some white paint and I made little lines all throughout my cactus shapes, and they're all going this way and that way, and just I had fun with it. And also what I did is I signed my name. Kids, do not forget to sign your name because you should be so proud of what you created. And if you did attempt this painting, don't forget to tag Mimi's Magic Sketchbook and have a parent post that on social media. Remember, I don't need a bunch of kids out there on social media without your parents' permission. And then I would love to see all your beautiful artwork, and hopefully you'll have a chance to get a shout out on my channel. Well, I hope you loved today's painting tutorial as much as I did. I had the best time creating this cactus masterpiece, and I'm very excited and happy with the way it turned out. I have a painting that I did a while back, and I love Texas art, so this is not the first time I've done a cactus painting. This one's extra bright and colorful, but I wanted to show you this painting because if you keep practicing, you could make a painting like this and probably even better, all right? So do not be discouraged if today's painting, maybe it was a little bit difficult for you. It's okay. Just start off with sketching. Every day, sketch one thing. That's my biggest recommendation I can give you. Start with sketching and then use those sketches to create your art. And there's no mistakes when it comes to art. If you created it yourself, I'm gonna absolutely love it, and you should love it too. And now I realize my co-host has not reported to saying goodbye duty, so let me get my co-host. And Mia has officially reported to Earth Quitter saying goodbye duty. Say hi. Hi. She went for a really long hike in the woods. She loves to do that. and she rolled around in a lot of stinky things. So she doesn't know it, but she's getting a bath today. She hates taking a bath. I was supposed to give her a bath a week ago, but you know what? I didn't want to traumatize poor little Mia. But today it's like she has had enough. Like she needs a full-on bath. Right, Mia? No, Mom. All right, critters. We both love you so much, and we are both so proud that you all are trying out these art tutorials. Say, don't forget to tag Mimi's Magic Sketchbook, right, Mia? All right, Earth Critters, we love you, and we will see you soon for another video. Say yay! Give him a kiss. Mwah! Mwah! Isn't she just the cutest little thing? I love you. Can I have a kiss? Mwah!